Hello everyone and welcome to another Timeless video. So today we're going to be taking a look at Reanimator in Timeless format. Now this is going to be a 5-color deck, but do not be alarmed. Blood Moon is definitely covered. I did build a deck so that the Blood Moon isn't very impactful versus our deck, since the only 2 green spells in this deck are 2 copies of Once Upon a Time, which you can cast for 0 mana, and we have the 4 copies of Atraxa, which is going to be our primary reanimation target in this deck. And once the Atraxa does come down, Atraxa is going to be able to fetch 6 different card types in this deck. We have the Instant Speed, Source of Plowshare, the best removal spell in the game. We also have an enchantment that is also a removal spell as well, Leyline Binding, and Fable of the Mirrorbreaker, which is also an enchantment that you can grab. And then we have 2 copies of Ashiok, which is a planeswalker the Atraxa can fetch as well. And then we have 3 copies of the One Ring, which is an artifact. And we also have 4 copies of Priest of Felrites, which is a creature, and 2 copies of Unburial Rites, which is a sorcery card. And we have the lands that you can hit. The most notable one in this deck is the 1 copy of Phyrexian Scrapyard, which you can use to discard the Atraxa to the graveyard to reanimate at a later time. So besides hard casting the Atraxa onto the battlefield, our deck is more or less a Mardu deck, and against non-Blood Moon decks in the sideboard we do have Okos to bring in place of an Ashiok if opponent doesn't operate with their graveyard or the search effects. So having said that, we're going to be jumping into some Timeless Best of 3 to show you guys how the deck does. So let's hop on over. Alright, first game, is that a mulligan? We got like 3 dead cards if I don't draw like a land. And we don't have any like fetch lands to grab a Triumph or Red Source for something like Kikijiki in the future, so maybe it is. Maybe go something like that. Drum. Okay, so they're on mono black. Let me see. Harvester or Priest? We currently don't have any way to discard, so I guess Bloodtithe Harvester is actually better. We'll just Kozilek. That was actually a really big pickup. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So I think I'm just going to grab a Triumph here. Savai Triumph. Ooh, that's excellent. So we need a green source for the Leyline Binding to be a 1-mana card, but we can't really leave up the mana for the Leyline Binding, if so. They already have enough mana, so if they want to kill the Harvester here, that's fine. They just want to stop taking damage. What a draw. What a top deck. So most likely we're dead unless we draw Thoughtseize. We have 1 copy of it. We could just go to next game and not give them the information that we're actually playing a Reanimator. Leyline main deck. That's actually a pretty good information, isn't it? So let's discard a swamp. Going to try to binding the Necropons. We'll pass. Really wanted to get a Thoughtseize. But most likely we're dead here. Yeah, they got it. Okay, so Ashok's gonna be pretty good. I guess Sarah's gonna be pretty good too, huh? And Needle. They also have a bunch of 1-mana cards, so maybe Chalice is also pretty good. I'm kind of afraid of like bringing these in. So swords we don't care about. Easy sideboarding? Let's do something like this. Too slow. But that looks pretty good. It really kind of depends on how many creatures they're gonna run out. Maybe I should just do this. Then we just Chalice into Ashok. Chalice into Ashok. They did get a 1-mana card down. Blue, black, right? We can still cast Ashok. Well, Ashok, let's go.
Right. This is my masterpiece.
Let's go. Wait, why are they doing it now after sacrificing the Ornithopter? Hello? That is not gonna work, my friend. Yeah. So, let's see their deck. They could still run. I don't know. Like, should I? Like, how good is the Thoughtseize? Really? I'll just have Kozilek and a Duress, so I don't lose life. Okay, we have a Pithing Needle. That looks decent. Raxian Tower. Well, that's good to know. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to swamp into a Needle first. And then I'll Duress and fetch a Triome. Oh, looks like opponent kept a pretty greedy hand. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, I've been seeing this version a lot with Ornithopters and Besiege, and then trying to storm off like by drawing bunch with the Necropons. And I have seen that in Best of 1 and Best of 3. It definitely works a lot better in Best of 1. Because in Best of 1, you don't have the sideboard, right? But in Best of 3, where you can like bring the sideboard cards in, like This becomes a lot worse, like especially in cases like this, because you play so many cards like Ornithopters and Drum that doesn't do anything. So you just keep on drawing bad cards and you eventually kind of lose. All right. Okay, so Flooded Strand, grab a Sacred Foundry, and then Polluted Delta, grab... Actually, You know what? Let's just kill it. I was trying to set up for Domain, but... Goblin Bombardment. Okay. Pretty interesting. Okay, let's grab a Blood Crypt and play the Bloodtide Harvester. Since they're playing not Loris, that means they're not playing Blood Moon, right? So... looks good. They probably have a Bowmaster. Okay. Could still have a Bowmaster. Fatal Push, we don't care about. We probably care about Village Rights, right? Should I just get rid of this? Atraxa? I should do it now, because if I wait, they could draw an Orcish Bowmaster, right? The no Bowmaster is here. One ring maybe? Or should I just set up a priest? In which case, it's just going to get fatal pushed. Maybe it's just better to go Fable and then discard on my turn. And then we can just reanimate using the priest next turn. I'm actually surprised they didn't fetch with the that thing. I guess they don't have any creatures anyways. We'll just grab a swamp. Nice. Okay, so counting now. That's a 1 Atraxa win. So this enchantment itself deals 1 damage to any target, so Sarah's Emissary calling creature doesn't do anything. Their deck probably plays a lot of 1-drops. I don't know how many, but Chalice is probably going to be decent. I'm going to get rid of a Thoughtseize. And Ashiok versus Oko. Oh yeah, Ashiok's a little bit better. Do I want some Supreme Verdict? Probably want some Pitting Needle. Actually, do I want Supreme Verdict? Maybe. As for the removal spells, I think I want to cut a Harvester. And maybe a copy of One Ring because of the Bowmasters. I think I just want to cut a copy of a Kozilek since I'm bringing in some Chalice. That is so unfortunate. Our one of land discard spell. I think I'm still gonna keep it. I think the hand is still pretty decent. Faithless Looting. Okay, so they're gonna get it back. We just got a Godless Shrine, which was fantastic. Pithing Needle. Or Deathray Shaman. I think I care about Deathray Shaman more. Oof. I wanted my Leyline Binding to get rid of the Pithing Needle, but we actually got punished. Shouldn't they want to wait until next turn to play the Skyclave Shade? I guess they have another land there anyways. Once upon a time. Okay, they play the Skyclave Shade. Landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield... Okay, so you have to kick it to get +2 counters. So, Overgrown Tomb, Shock. We'll grab a land, hopefully. Wow. Deck? How could you do this to me? Into a swamp. Into a swamp. I think we block as much as possible. I just want to preserve life until Atraxa comes down. Okay, we actually found a land. I can't believe the way it's about to tap. That's crazy. I mean, these Trace of Fellrights aren't really doing much. Okay. Okay. Easy game. Atraxa win number 2. Let's go. No black source. I guess hopefully we draw land. Oof. Guess you just I think you just take the sword. Okay. Interesting. How did they know that I was gonna draw this? Now, it would be a shame if you have Tishana's Tidebinder. So we can grab a Savai Triome. Atraxa. Okay, they bolt. I think in response to them doing this, I'm going to get rid of an Atraxa here. Okay, we're one land away. And of course, Underwrites does have to hit the graveyard for this to cost 4 mana. They're probably gonna take the Demonic Tutor. That's probably the card to take here. So the sick thing about this is our deck is kind of immune to getting outvalued by One Ring, which is pretty sick. Deathrite Shaman. We'll just Swords. Ooh, Priest. And leave up double Leyline Binding. Pretty nice. Okay, there's that One Ring. I wonder why they didn't wait. Because I was forced to Binding here. Okay, that's... I'm just going to call that a Atraxa win because I was about to reanimate the Atraxa here. So that's 3 Atraxa wins. They're on Rakdos. Being able to play a Binding in this deck is just so sick. So the card that we have to watch out for is a Blood Moon. But at the same time, like, if you look at our deck, aside from Once Upon a Time, we can play our entire deck just by fetching a Swamp and a Plane because these turn into red, right? How about the rest? Maybe less Ashok and Oko. You know what? We don't need the rest. Okay, well, we could get Blood Mooned, but I guess we're just fetching a Plains and a Swamp. Necropons. I guess get rid of Atraxa. That's actually pretty strong. Yeah. I mean, I do get a zombie immediately. Is that enough to win the game? Probably not. I mean, I do have Okos, bunch of creatures. It's not like I don't have a creature. We could also win with the Phyrexian Scrapyard. I think I'm gonna fetch a Plains. Because if they Dark Ritual into Blood Moon, right? I have a Plains to use the Binding with. I wonder if they also have a Fatal Push. They're probably getting Blood Moon now. I was thinking about playing a Dark Ritual in this deck, but I just couldn't fit it in. So we'll go Plains. We're gonna cycle this. Probably just grab a Swamp now. Actually, let's grab a Blood Crypt. We'll go Swamp into a Blood Crypt. Interesting. No Blood Moon. Is that really what they grabbed? No way, right? No way. Okay, let's go Fable. Can we win with Atraxa gone? We'll find out. But they still kept the Bolt. Probably one ring, right? We do have the binding. This one can't get Sparrow, so maybe just do this. Okay. Just get rid of that. Wow, they're still attacking. Okay, Besiege. I mean, honestly, these one rings haven't been doing too great. Like, they're spending 4 mana to draw 1, right? Okay. Now we have to answer the Kikijiki somehow. Okay. Thoughtseize was pretty good, I'll tell you that much. I mean, it's actually pretty tough for them. You have to get rid of the binding, but we have 1 ring plus Fable. Like, that's pretty tough. But they just have to have another one. Does it matter to attack now? Probably not. Probably want to wait for them to use their removal spell and then copy with the Kikijiki. So there's that Bowmaster. The thing is, we actually don't draw that much in this deck, right? I basically had to get rid of the Kikijiki there because if the Bowmaster resolves, they get to deal 2 damage. Another Besiege. I'll take an Oko, please. I'll gladly take an Oko. Wait, what? You don't play more than 2 copies of One Ring? Question mark? Okay, Thoughtseize. Not the greatest card ever. Do I want to take 3 damage? Okay, it's better to take 2 damage instead of 3, right? Okay. I have basically 4 more turns before I die. So hopefully they don't draw a removal spell and we take over the game with Kikijiki. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Or, you know, we could draw an Oko as well. Oko would be pretty good in this spot. Let's go. Oko top deck. Draw. That's not exactly what I wanted to see. It could be just game over here. Wow. Should we consider that as an Atraxa win? Because they skipped their turn using Necromantia and giving us a zombie. And then also playing a Stone Brain that did nothing. I don't know. Is that an Atraxa win? Wow. This is unironically keepable. So check this out. Once upon a time, get a land. Demonic Tutor, get a land. No Thoughtseize. Okay. No Ragavan, please. Zagoth Triumph. Interesting. But that's either a Orcish Bowmaster or a counterspell. Okay, so here is where we have to fire off the Once Upon a Time here. We need a black source, right? There's a black source. And Blood Crypt. Play the Priest. What's really nice about this is even if it does get countered, like, we don't really care, right? Doesn't really matter. And we're going to tutor for an Atraxa. That is the play here. This art is so good. Up the beanstalk. Okay. Is it Harvester? Maybe it is. Leave up us swords for potential Uro. Stitcher Supplier. What? What's going on here? With Up the Beanstalk? They have to be playing Uro, right? They have to be? There's no way they aren't. Okay. We'll tutor for an Atraxa into our hand. And should I attack? We kind of want them to just play Uro, right? So attack, they block, mill an Uro, they spend their entire turn reanimating Uro, and then we swords. Well, that was the initial plan, but doesn't look like that's what happened. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What are you doing there? Take action. Let's grab a plains. They could be playing multiple trophies, so I guess let's just do this. That is that our 4th win with an Atraxa? Every time this came out, or, you know, is about to come out, which is a bit sad. I mean, Ashiok's actually going to be pretty good against their deck, isn't it? If they're playing Stitcher Supplier, I feel like it's going to be insane, is it not? Guess we'll play some Duress, maybe some copies of Oko. You know what? They're also probably playing Oko as well, right? Does it make sense for us to play One Ring? I think I'm gonna cut a copy. We'll cut copy of a Blood-Tide Harvester as well. I think I'm going to actually... I think I'm actually going to only bring one Oko. Okay, keep. So far, the deck's been really good. It's been really, really good. If that's not a Stifle, I don't know what is. Yeah, I don't know what that is if that's not a Stifle. Are you kidding me? Let's do this. I don't want to get stifled and then get set back because I want to play the Ashiok on curve. Kind of want them to play Uro here, and then we can swords. Okay. Doesn't play a card. Oh my god. I guess it was a Veil of Summer. Usually doesn't make sense to just like run out the Veil immediately. Like shock it in on turn 1. Oh no, it does make sense because, yeah, okay. Let's Ashiok. We do have to get the counterspell out of the way for the One Ring, so... Any Uro, please? Unmoored Ego. Okay, I guess we get a free One Ring. That's crazy. Wasn't Tormod's Crypt enough? Like... yeah, I don't think, the thing is, like, this deck isn't all in on Atraxa Reanimation, right? Like, I feel like... I don't know, like... I don't think it's that great. So obviously we're gonna draw first. I'm gonna leave this fetch for swords because I don't know. Okay, there's that Uro. Okay. I'm gonna kill it. We already have a godless shrine, but this is my only white source, so... They found the land. I don't think I'm gonna be fetching anymore. Then we're gonna animate the 6/6 next turn. The problem is, because we did get rid of Atraxa, they did get rid of the Atraxa, we're kind of ticking with the One Ring here. Plus, we also don't have... We also sideboarded one copy of One Ring as well. So, yeah. So can we race them? I'm getting rid of all the fetch lands because they hurt more than shock lands at the moment. Do they actually have it? I wonder. Okay, stifle me. I think they have a Orcish Bowmaster, and that's all it is. Okay, trophy. I mean, at least they're, like, ramping me. I could also source myself to gain some life. So I guess, it's not as bad as I thought. There's another sword. How is opponent at 24? That's crazy. Well, I guess we're just keep playing cards. Brainstorm. Unmordigo, huh? Okay. I don't need to discard. Yeah, just attack all. Let us just attack all. Let's discard that land. And we pass. Why didn't they just, like... I mean, I guess they don't know about the source to Plowshare letting me gain some life back. No, now they're sitting. They're not even attacking. Uro. I'm kind of waiting for the source so that we can like source ourselves. Counter spell? Interesting. We have a lot of options. I think we attack, right? We attack all. I'm definitely going to source myself here. Since they don't actually have any mana up. Since they had the counter spell to protect the Bowmaster here. They're really valuing this Orcish Bowmaster. Even though I am actually not in a position to draw. Let's just get rid of a priest. And we just have to source now. Because we're about to die. And pass. It's a really funny game. They're probably gonna want a Uro here. They go back up to 10. Then they go up to 16. Can we even actually win before? The thing is, like, oh man, I really need my Oko. Or Demonic Tutor. Demonic Tutor or Oko will do. Any of those. Demonic Tutor or Oko. Might have to draw with the One Ring. We'll see. Since this is my last turn. Do they have it? Okay. It would be a shame if they have another Bowmaster, though. I mean, I just can't hold back. That's the thing. I die 3, 4. Yeah, I'm just going to play in a way that, like, if, you know, if they have a Bowmaster, I can't win the game anyway, so. So let's just draw. Binding. It says exile non-land permanent an opponent controls. Come on. Is there any Okos or One Ring? This is a big flood. What a gigantic flood. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're top decking Assassin's Trophy. And they didn't have a Bowmaster last turn. Brainstorm, what a card to draw. What a card! There's only 6 lands left in the deck. Trophy. Only 7 cards now. Tolarian Terror. This has War 2. Oh my god. Did we win? Did we actually win? Please tell me we won. Good game. Wow. Okay, unironically, I did say that Unmore Ego is not really a good card versus me, but because I also sideboarded out a copy of One Ring, and I didn't actually bring in 2 copies of Oko for life gain, the One Ring actually did a lot of work in damaging ourselves. Hence, the Unmoored Ego was actually great. But as you can see, like, even just the Tormod's Crypt was actually able to stop us from reanimating anything. So I feel like against our deck, just bringing a bunch of Graveyard Hates is actually a lot better. And just counter the Atraxas, right? Okay, so we played a bunch of games with this deck, and kind of surprised. 5-0? I'm not 100% about the field matchup. We do have 2 copies of Ashiok in this deck versus the field matchup. You might actually have to go up to another copy of it. Maybe you could go down on Leyline of the Void since you do have an Ashiok, so maybe like Leyline, -1 Leyline, play a copy of Ashiok. Yeah, I kind of like that actually. I actually really found the 2 copies of Once Upon a Time great in this deck. It was actually really, really good. And the mana base felt great, and 1 copy of Phyrexian Scrapyard was also fantastic. And I think the distribution of 1 copy of Thoughtseize and 2 copies of Kozilek was also good. We don't want to be taking too much damage with the Thoughtseize anyways, so... And the One Ring was also pretty good. We're also not playing Orcish Bowmaster because we actually want more ways to discard, so we're playing Bloodtide Harvester instead of the Orcish Bowmaster here, right? Because this deck does want ways to discard. We have 3 copies of discard spell here, 4 copies of discard spell here, and a copy of Phyrexian Scrapyard, and 2 copies of Bitter Triumph. So as you can see, it's not that much. Imagine adding 4 copies of Orcish Bowmaster here, right? Like, you can't fit it in. Other things to consider is Giganta. Is Ashiok worth the slot instead of a Giganta? I think yes, especially in this meta. I feel like you would be bringing the Ashiok in so many times that not only are you going to lose the first game because you didn't have an Ashiok, but you're also going to be sideboarding out the Giganta into the sideboard and then bringing in Ashiok. So you're down a game, and you're also wasting a sideboard slot, in my opinion. And the 4 copies of Atraxa. Every time this was in the graveyard, and the Priest of Fell Rites and Unburial Rites was in the graveyard or on the battlefield, opponents surrendered because they knew the Atraxa was going to come down. I mean, it's a pretty insane card in this deck. We're playing instant speed, sorcery, right? Enchantment, that is also removal spell. Enchantment here. Creature, land, planeswalker, artifact. Like, look, this is insane. I'm just like sorting by the types. You are getting a full package every time you cast Atraxa in this deck, which is incredibly powerful. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video so far, and if you did, as always, leave a like, comment below, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.